1999, just before the new millennium. This meant big changes for the world of gaming. Video games were just starting to take their first wobbly steps into 3D, taking advantage of the new possibilities made by the advancements in console hardware. Many 2D game series made the transition during the late 90s, such as Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and in 1999 specifically, Sonic and Rayman. Meanwhile, I was still a toddler, and I was far too busy drooling on myself and watching Barney to notice these changes going on around me. So, fast forward 13 years later, and I'm pre-ordering Rayman Origins on Steam. After playing the demo and loving it, I had to throw my money at it as fast as possible. For my early expenditure, I was rewarded with the PC version of Rayman 2 as a pre-order bonus. As I played through it, I found out the answer to this question. Can a modern gamer enjoy a nearly 15-year-old game as much as when it was first released? However, Video Game Review Code states that before I answer that question, I must have a story synopsis segment. Story time! The game begins with a surprisingly cinematic cutscene. In this cutscene, we learn that Rayman's world is in turmoil. The people are being captured and enslaved by evil robot pirates. The heart of the world has been broken into 1,000 pieces. Which is bad, I think. Even our hero Rayman has been captured, imprisoned on Admiral Razorbeard's flying ship. Yeah, it flies. That's what Fantasy Ship Rule 101. All enemy ships must look futuristic enough to fly, but still be old enough to look like an old sail ship. Anyways, all hope seems lost, as Rayman has lost all of his powers, somehow. But then Rayman's friend Glowbox is conveniently thrown into the same cell as Rayman. As it turns out, Glowbox smuggled in a gift from... Yeah, what he said. The present partially restores Rayman's powers, which apparently was shooting energy balls from his fists. But I thought he punched stuff. Well, who cares, because continuity's for suckers. So, Rayman shoots his little ping-pong balls of death at the wall, makes a hole, and slides down with Glowbox down the tunnel. They jump ship and make their great escape. Huh, well, that was a short game. Well, I guess that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Wait, what? It's still going? Hold it. So this game is called Rayman 2, The Great Escape. You might call it a catchy title. You know what I call it? False advertising! Heh, more like Rayman 2, The Great Escape that happens in the first 5 minutes of the game, so you're not really escaping anymore, so why is this game called this? The Wrath of Khan. Okay, so the Limbless Wanderer and Big Boy Blue got separated after falling thousands of feet in the sky, mind you, and shaking it off like it was nothing. Man, this sky is tough. So you, the player, look around a little bit, and then you find Glowbox's kids. And they immediately start crying once he tells me he lost their father. So he has to promise them that he'll find their father after he finds Lee the Fairy to get his powers back. Wait, I thought he just got them back. Stop crying! Rayman then finds the teensies. Get it? Because they're teeny. They in turn grant Rayman access to the incredible, the amazing, the fantastic Hall of Doors. Seriously? That's the best name they could come up with? Well, uncreative naming aside, this passageway takes you to the pirate's base where Lee is being held captive. After you finally free her, Rayman can finally get his powers! What? Come on! I just fought robot pirates with my bare hands! So, now Rayman has to get the help of Policus, a being of immense power who is in a deep sleep. And the only way to wake him up and get him to help you is to collect 4 masks. And then and only then will your powers be restored and the pirates defeated. And so the convoluted fetch quest begins. So, to find these plot devices, or masks, you will have to guide Rayman through many 3D environments, running, jumping, hovering, swimming, riding, sliding, whatever this is, and much, much more. As you can clearly see, this game has a variety of environments and gameplay styles, as well as plenty of cage smashing, lum collecting, and pirate busting action. But what's a good game without plenty of interesting characters? Well, not to worry, because this game has a broad spectrum of characters, ranging from goofy to awkward and or creepy. Case in point, Murphy. Early on in the adventure, this guy named Murphy shows up and begins to explain the game's world to you, and the face! Stop smiling at me, you creep! Do you have any facial muscles at all? Not to mention he tells you they can reappear in your mind to talk to you when you need him, so not even your mind is safe from his creepy whisper. And so he flies away just as awkwardly as he came. Well, that wasn't too bad, you say. He isn't that creepy. Well, don't worry, there's someone even creepier. Let me put it this way. Rayman checks his closet for Murphy. You know who Murphy checks his closet for? This guy. Listen to him! He sounds like a homicidal psychopath! Oh, and fun fact, he is Mike Wazowski, the psychopath. The reason why you even have to see this creep is that you have to get a so-called elixir of life from this guy to help one of Rayman's friends feel better. So how does he respond? Well, he does what any rational psychopath would do. He drags you into a nightmare world and proceeds to try and eat you. And when that doesn't work, he just tries to straight up kill you. When you've beaten him, he tells you that you've passed the test, and he gives you the elixir as if nothing happened. What? That's like going to a pharmacist and saying, "Hey, I need to fill this prescription." And he's like, "Okay." Okay, here you go. Don't even try to tell me that's normal. Before I leave this character tangent entirely, I'd like to point out Rayman's voice in this game. Instead of having a voiceover in English or any other language, he just speaks random gibberish. What? Foyo Wabada? Foyo Waddabuh? Yo Gabba Gabba? To quote Sam, "Sorry, Rayman, I don't know what you're talking about." But hey, this isn't a bad thing, it's just a weird thing. Actual review time! If I had to describe this game's defining quality, it wouldn't be action-packed, well-designed, or even fun. Not that those don't apply, but atmospheric. From the opening cutscene, we're immediately pulled into this fantastical fairy tale world. From vibrant jungles to dark swamps, from high mountains to murky waters. You're in a world full of strange sights and sounds around every corner. The music is quite good, I might add. It really does a great job of setting the mood for the environment and adapts to the situations unfolding on screen. As for the gameplay itself, I'd say it's aged fairly well. It's still fun to run around and shoot energy balls and stuff. There's also plenty of replay value since you can search each level for all the hidden cages and yellow lums you missed on the first playthrough. You also gain upgrades as you go along, letting you gain new abilities and power up old ones. I will say though that this game isn't perfect. The camera occasionally has problems finding a good angle, and the controls are a little looser than I like. Times where I found myself blaming the controls for the constant deaths. I'm looking at you, shell-riding segments. At first these segments seem like a nice break from the main gameplay, adding some speed to the otherwise methodical gameplay. But then they become more lengthy. And then this happens. Again, and again, and again. Then this happens. And then... what is even going on? Needless to say, these sections were more frustrating than fun for me. Another disappointment for me was the boss fights in this game. While there are plenty of boss fights, whether it's the guardians that are guarding the masks or the mini-bosses here and there, none of them are really all that special. In fact, the only bosses that were anything close to being interesting were this boss fight that I'm showing you right now and the final boss. Also, while the final boss is really exciting, it's also incredibly frustrating. This isn't necessarily a terrible thing, but I just wish that the difficulty spike wasn't so jarring. Well, now that I've taken so much effort not to spoil the game's ending, time to spoil it anyway.
Wait, what?
While I don't have a problem with the plot or the cutscenes in general, I found the ending disappointing. Why? Well, remember at the beginning of this review how Rayman wants his powers back? Well, aside from neither explaining exactly what these powers are, nor how he lost them in the first place, he never acknowledges that he has them back. Sweet! Upgrade! Are his powers back? I don't know. Yay! Another upgrade! Does this mean that his powers are back now? Who cares? Now?
Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
Finally, spoiler alert, you get all the masks back to Policus, who then says he can fight the pirates but leaves Admiral Razorbeard for Rayman. Before he goes though, he gives Rayman the final upgrade of the game. Refilling his health bar. Oh, okay, so I guess this was his missing power, because, you know, his health bar has never been that full before. Oh, wait. This means that Rayman had his powers back a long time ago. I thought it would be something cool like flying, punching, always knowing when Krispy Kreme has fresh donuts. Something, but nope, full health bar. Stupid false hope creating game. Oh, and you know how Awkward Gangly Arms guy supposedly freed all the slaves and defeated the pirates? Well, we don't get to see that. That would be interesting and validating. All we get is Lee's floating head telling us the slaves have broken their chains and escaped. Somehow. My guess is that the ending was cut down to time constraints or budget reasons, but really, would it have been that hard to at least show some robot pirates blowing up or something? But nope. Talking disembodied head. But hey, these are just nitpicks. While I don't love this game like other platformers I've played, I do like it. I can easily see why people consider this one of the best platformers of all time. It's a quirky, fun, and atmospheric game that has aged fairly well. While this game probably isn't for everyone, I'd say any fan of 3D platformers should check it out, especially if you like retro ones like Super Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie. All in all, this is a good game. Follow yo Waddabuh for watching my first real review. As a first-time effort, any feedback would be much appreciated, since I hope to do an even better job next time. This has been an episode of Nux Fans Reviews. Stay echidna-ish? Sure, whatever, I'll go with that.